We'll be doing fine with that. Okay, so I'm trying not to get nervous here. I don't know why I get scared. I mean, I played this game billions of times. Smoke some sage manuscript page.
Agent Nightingale stared at the passed out rider. The man was sleeping off one hell of a night. Nightingale felt a stab of envy at Wake's oblivion, but he had a job to do. He put the gun to Wake's head and almost became a murderer. His hand shook and his throat felt tight and dry. Biting his teeth, he tried again to pull the trigger. He lost the nerve. Wake stirred. Nightingale would have to settle for an arrest.
Son of a bitch. Whatever. 1, Alan Wake. 2, Alan Wake. 3, Alan Wake. That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, so I know there's going to be a lot of walking here, so I was thinking of telling a story. A great story of mine. It's a story of Rick, my good friend Rick. I met Rick back in 2002, junior high. And I used to always, like, every day go to his house after school. It was crazy.
I sensed the movement in the woods ahead. Facing the enemy without a weapon was dangerous, but I had no choice.
Yeah, so we used to go to his house every day. And then one time I went to Ricky's house after school. And, oh, do I got any weapons now? And, and then Ricky and Chippy started fighting. You know, like, they're punching each other. I guess someone wanted to play PS2 or a PS1 or something. And then they started fighting. And I was like, yo, Rick, man, what's up, man? And they just continued to fight. It was crazy. Oh, come on, dude. Faggot. Oh, smoke some... Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Okay, never mind. You know what, guys? I try to play with you nice. Oh, fuck. You guys are dicks. You ruined up my story. I was telling a story about Rick, man. The Fraggle Rock, man. There's a light that never goes out. Oh, it feels good. So, like I was saying, we used to go to Rick's. Oh, yeah, and Ricky and Chippy started fighting like crazy. Like, you know, like really, like, starting to hit each other. And then Ricky's sister came by and... Hold on.
A car was driving away from the farm, headed in the same general direction as I was. For all I knew, it was Barry, caught in the consequences of leaping before looking.
So Ricky's sister came in, and then she just screams out, "Mom, they're fighting again!" And I'm sitting down. While this is all happening, I'm sitting down and playing like PS2 or something. So I'm thinking like, oh, okay, she's gonna come in here and tell them to stop fighting. That's what I'm thinking. So anyways, Ricky's mom comes in, sees them both fighting. All she does is like turn to like Ricky's sister, and all she does is look at her and says, "Bring me one of your dad's belts." I was like, oh my God.
The car was heading for the cabin up ahead. It wasn't far. If it was Barry, I would see the damage soon.
So at this moment, I was like, "What? She's gonna get a belt?" I was like, "What the hell?" I'm like right here. I'm like, "Do they know that I'm here?" Anyways, Ricky's sister goes to Ricky's dad's closet, and I don't know if I think only people from like Mexico could understand this. You know those belts where they're like humongous, and they got like drawings of horses and various things on the belt. Ricky's sister brought one of those belts. And me, no big Mexican belt from Mexico, just it looks like it hurts like a bitch.
I'm trying to deliver each page to the right time and place. I'm trying to show you how the story goes.
And then, smoke some sage manuscript page.
I had seen it in my dream. It was a strange spaceman or a diver in a bulky suit. He was the one who'd been placing the pages on my path.
That's nice, Alan.
The dark presence followed the choreography laid out to it in the manuscript, growing stronger and stronger, moving like a storm from one scene of destruction to the next. But it was still bound to follow the story and chained to the dark place it came from. When the story reached the end it longed for, it would finally be free.
So she came in with a big belt from Mexico, and then out of nowhere, it just started like wailing on Ricky and Chippy, and I'm sitting there like, well, I can understand a culture, everyone, I got my ass whooped as a kid. Rick gets his ass whooped as a kid. I mean, there's a certain place and time as a kid that you get your ass whooped. Like, this wouldn't be ass whoopings. There would be like attempted murder, cruelty to a child, just because you. And I'm thinking they're just fighting. They do this shit all the time. Like, why are they tripping? And anyway, she's like starts hitting Rick all hard.
Someone had left a gun behind. Now I had a fighting chance of reaching the farm.
And smoke some sage. It's a manuscript page.
The storm raged on as the Anderson brothers walked unsteadily away from the clinic with the other patients in tow, knowing that this time they wouldn't return. The darkness around them seethed with horrors, but Tor and Odin were unafraid. Their eyes glinted with guile. They knew every secret path, and there was blood on their hands. They had fought these shades before.
That's awesome. And, she's, like I said, she's hitting them, and, like, I'm kind of sitting there, like, do I leave? What do I do at the, like, what's the proper thing to do right now? Like, he's getting his ass whooped on, and I'm just sitting here witnessing it, so I was like, I got up slowly, and while Ricky and Chippy were still getting hit, I slowly walked to the side of them, and I remember, like walking by Ricky's sister, and all I told Ricky's sister was like, listen, tell your brother I'll see him tomorrow. That's all I said. Like, I'm out of here. This is clearly not a time for me to be here. This is a family moment. Family deals with family. I left, and I was like, okay. And the next day I was like, when I went to school, I was like, should I even like mention this to Rick? Like, should I ask him about it? So I was like, okay, I just won't even mention it, I just won't even bring it up. Anyways, is it this way? Okay. Next day, I go to school. Ricky's there. I see him. And he's like, hey, man, why'd you leave yesterday? I was like, why did I leave yesterday? Ricky, you're getting your ass whooped with a belt. That's why I left. It felt a little uncomfortable. And he's like, oh, no, man, you should have stayed. It was like over after that. It was like over, like 10 minutes after that, it was over. I was like, Rick, I don't know how long your ass whoopings take when you're acting up and your mom wants to hit you or something, but Ricky, I'm not going to stay for that, I'm like, he's like, no, you should have stayed. And like that story always stays in my head because it's so funny the way, like, I can understand getting your ass whooped, like, as a kid. Like, I can understand that. But, like, wanting your friend to stay there while you're getting your ass whooped, that's a little uncomfortable for me. Like, this is a family moment. Anyways, I always laugh at Rick and Chippy for that. And that's just one of the weirdest stories I can tell. Oh, God, someone's behind me. Trying not to use flashbangs. Trying not to use flashbangs. Ah! Oh, you bastard. Yeah, so that's the Rick story. He gets his ass whooped with a big Mexico belt, and he asks me why I left. To me, that is fucking weird.
I could see the car, but there was no sight of the driver.
I don't know, Alan. Maybe because Ricky gets his... And this wasn't like last year, like when we were like 22
Hello?
or something.
Anybody here?
No. This was like 8th grade.
Barry.
We were like 12 or 13 at the time.
What are you? No, don't! I'm sorry!
That's a hell of a rape. Oh, it's this one. Yeah.
I know you. You were in jail the other day.
I went
to the farm again for the moonshine, you know? It makes you see. They're not gonna miss it. They're in the loony bin. But my buddy, Danny, I lost him. Something's gone wrong with him. It's not him. Like a real bad follow-up to a real good movie. The best friend's suddenly the bad guy.